Alright, so some of you have asked me to do more singing tips because I am a singer. What did she say? I'm working late because I'm a singer. What's up? If you haven't met me before, I'm Winter. I'm a singer-songwriter. Today I'm going to teach you 3 things if you experience a dry throat when you're singing a lot. I suffer from this, so here are a couple tips that have really helped me. You're a nebulizer or a steamer, so you really don't need to break the bank or anything for this because there's several ways that you can make a steamer at home. There is a slight difference between a steamer and a nebulizer. So a steamer, it sounds like what it is. It's just water, and then it just transforms into a gas, and then you could inhale the water vapor, and that'll help you with the hydration of your vocal cords. Now, a nebulizer, on the other hand, has a mesh metal in there that better filters the particles that are in there. So it gives you a more fine mist.
Now, you might ask, why can't I put saline solution into my personal steamer? Well, when it heats up the water and turns it into steam, it leaves the saline behind. You're not going to get it. This is the only way.
Some people who use either one use essential oils. I don't use essential oils. I don't know if that's exactly helpful with your vocal cords, but quite honestly, I don't want to up my nebulizer. I paid $35 for it, so I'm going to keep it as clean as possible. Now, you don't need to go out and buy other things. There is the typical shower method, which is why so many people love to sing in the shower, because it just feels so freeing and there's no, like a little tension and whatever.
I sound great when I'm singing in the shower.
Absolutely do not use this while it is still on the heat. Take it off and then do it that way. You can also heat up a pot of water. You can make sure it boils so that there's a good amount of steam, and then put your head over it with a towel. I will say you really shouldn't do this while the stove is still on the heat, because fire and burning. Now, this one I actually learned recently. It is to avoid drinking ice water. And at first I was like, that's okay. I drink room temperature water all the time, and I feel like absolutely nothing is happening. Editing Winter here to explain a little bit. So some people say that drinking ice water isn't exactly the best because it actually constricts the muscles in your throat surrounding the vocal cords. So technically spoken, the area around your vocal cords has a freak ton of muscles, and you really want to make them relax as much as possible. So when you drink ice water, it's like getting into a cold shower in the morning. It constricts the muscles in there. So you really don't want to drink ice cold water, but you can drink something more room temperature or even hot if you prefer, but it depends on the person. And super quick anecdote, whenever I have to go perform at a bar or anything, I absolutely do not have any alcohol before I perform, but I do drink a hell of a lot of water. And there was this one time I was performing at a New Year's Eve bash, and whenever I'd go over to the bar, I'd ask the bartender for some water, and it was ice water. But I noticed that my throat was dry as hell. And I drank maybe 3 cups of water in like an hour and a half, 2. And I already was drinking a lot throughout the day. So that's what screwed me up. Don't drink ice water. Drink something room temperature, or even like a warmer beverage. So maybe just go with the route of, warm water, a little bit of lemon, some honey, and some sugar, so that you don't feel like you're gonna gag on nasty water.
Sweet
Water.
I always hated it.
Alright, number 3, practice the appoggio method. Now, this sounds like some fancy pants Italian BS, because it is. The entire point of this method is to make sure that your torso moves as little as possible on the exhale. So you can still move when you inhale, but on the exhale, you have limited to no movement in your midriff, like this. I'll do it again. Like that. One of the benefits of using the appoggio method is that you don't overextend your breaths. And when you learn this exercise, you can actually do some silent exercises that I'll show you in just a second. But whenever you breathe like this, there's a lot of pressure, like air pressure, going past your vocal folds. But if you try to control that a little bit more, you'll experience less of a dry throat. Alright, so I promised you an exercise. Here it is. I love this exercise because you can do it literally anywhere and not look like a clown. That's the best part. It's a silent exercise where you have however many counts, but we'll start with 4 counts. A 4 count inhale, a 4 count hold, and a 4 count exhale. 4 counts. Ready? And it's extremely subtle, but did you do it successfully? It's still good. If not, it's totally okay. This is why it's an exercise. Bodybuilders don't do one push-up and call it a day. You gotta do it regularly, and most importantly, a couple times before you actually get it down. So, you get your snaps. Congratulations. I hope that you got a little bit of something from this video. That's all I gotta say. Bye.
Looking for a couple healing spell. Boy, I